Planning your next cruise? Before you set sail, there's some shocking cruise ripoffs that you need to know about that could completely ruin your trip. Overpriced drink packages, spa traps, and more. But here's the kicker. Stick around until the end for one crucial tip that could save your entire vacation. This might be the most important piece of advice you'll hear before you board your cruise. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey y'all, I'm Evan with Family at Sea, where we help make every cruise unforgettable. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or planning your first cruise adventure, we're here to share the tips and tricks that will make your trip smoother, more fun, and way less stressful. In today's video, we're diving into the biggest cruise ripoffs that you need to avoid. And trust me, avoiding these will make your vacation so much better. So if you're ready, I am. Let's go. Drink packages can seem like a great deal, offering unlimited drinks for a fixed price, but they often don't add up. Depending on the cruise line, these packages typically range from $60 to $100 per person per day. Now, let's do the math. With beers at around $6 to $8, wine at $8 to $12, and cocktails anywhere from $12 to $15, you'd have to drink 8-10 drinks every single day just to break even. Another thing to consider here is that not all drinks are included. Some premium cocktails or higher-end wines come with an extra charge. Plus, and this is a big one, on port days, you're off the ship for most of the day, meaning you won't have as much time to take advantage of your package. If you're not a heavy drinker, you may end up paying more than you need to, and in many cases, it's better just to buy drinks as you go and save your money. Booking a spa treatment on a cruise can sound relaxing, but the reality often doesn't justify the cost. Spa services are usually quite expensive, with treatments like massages costing $200 or more. But the real kicker, while you're there to relax, staff often push hard to sell you expensive add-ons or products which can take away from the experience. On top of that, the quality doesn't always match up with the price. You may end up with a rushed treatment that leaves you wondering, why did I just pay so much for that? Plus, if you book in advance, you often can't choose the time until you board the ship, leaving you with either 1, a very long wait time on embarkation, or 2, an inconvenient time slot. Lastly, there's the thermal spa passes, which are an option as well, and these can be nice, but are they worth the extra cost? At a cost of $200 to $300 for your 7-day sailing per person, the reality is it depends on how much you'll use it. In the end, you may get more relaxation from sticking with the free pools and lounges. Cruise line sponsored excursions may seem convenient, but they often come with inflated prices. Booking through the cruise line can cost you significantly more than arranging the same tour with a local operator. Plus, these excursions are often large group experiences, making them feel rushed and less personal. Honestly, it can feel like you're being herded around like elephants. It's not always a pleasant experience. When you book on your own, you can often do more for less money in the same amount of time. The cruise line may try to scare you into booking with them by saying, hey, we're not going to wait for you if you return late from your independent tour, but reputable local operators know ship schedules, and they're not going to risk their reputation by even cutting it close. They will make sure that you're back on time. If you're looking for more value, flexibility, and honestly a better overall experience, researching and booking your own excursion is always the way to go. Specialty dining on a cruise can be a treat, offering an elevated experience compared to the main dining room. But before you splurge, remember, you've already paid for meals with your cruise fare. That $60 steakhouse dinner might actually cost you more than $100 per person once you factor in gratuities and the money you've already paid for the meal that you're not eating. While some specialty dining venues are absolutely worth it, and honestly we enjoy them quite often, not all live up to the hype. The food may not be significantly better, and the service can sometimes disappoint. To make sure it's worth the extra cost, research the menu, reviews, and the atmosphere beforehand to make sure you know what to expect. In the end, while specialty dining can be a nice splurge, it's not always necessary to have an exceptional dining experience on your cruise. Having the cruise line handle your flights and transfers can seem convenient, but it often comes at a cost, both financially and in flexibility. You're at the mercy of the cruise line for the travel times and the operators, and they'll often book flights the same day your cruise departs. One delay and you may miss the ship entirely. Even if they promise to cover the cost to catch up later, is it really worth the stress and missing part of your cruise? Booking your own travel gives you more control. It allows you to arrive when you choose to arrive to avoid the stress of last-minute delays. days. Plus, transfers through the cruise line are usually pricier than arranging your own Uber or shuttle from the airport to the ship, which is often quicker and easier. In the end, while cruise line travel packages are convenient, they're typically going to add a lot of unnecessary stress and costs to your trip. Onboard art auctions, especially those run by companies like Park West, can seem like a fun way to take home a unique piece of art, but they often come with inflated prices. The auctions are designed to create a sense of urgency, with many pieces being mass-produced and overpriced, having questionable investment value. While the cruise lines promote these artworks as great deals, the prices are marked up and the retail values shown are usually exaggerated. Plus, dealing with issues like returns or questions about authenticity can be a real headache once you're back home. If you're looking for a true investment or a meaningful piece of art, it's better to research and buy from reputable galleries on land, or you have time to consider your purchase. Buying jewelry or watches on board can be tempting, but it's important to consider whether it's really worth it. Cruise ships often advertise duty-free prices, but these deals may not be as great as they seem. Prices are typically marked up before the discount is applied, and similar or better deals can often be found at reputable stores or online back home. The selection on board is also limited, focusing on popular, high-margin, aka more expensive items. This can lead to impulse buys that may not be the best value. Plus, while most cruise ships partner with reputable brands, there's always a risk of buying something that's not as high quality or authentic as you were led to believe. If something goes wrong with your purchase, resolving it can be more complicated when dealing with a cruise line rather than a local jeweler. Return policies and customer service can be limited, making it frustrating to handle issues after your trip. Something else to keep in mind here, these high-end items they sell are almost always used. They're very rarely actually new. They may be great quality, but they're used. If you're going to spend that much money, wouldn't you rather buy something that's brand new? Something to consider. But in the end, it's worth asking yourself if the convenience of buying on board is worth the potential downsides. Also, ask yourself, is this purchase something you'd be making at all if you're back home versus on a cruise ship looking for something to do? Even if you're in the market for a watch or piece of jewelry, you may find better value and peace of mind by waiting until you're back home. Travel insurance is one of those things you hope you'll never need, but can provide peace of mind knowing you have it in the event that something were to happen. However, buying it through the cruise line may not be your best option. Cruise line insurance often comes with higher costs, more limited coverages, and honestly, the third-party options just provide a more comprehensive solution. Plus, there's a potential conflict of interest. The cruise line in this situation is both the provider of your trip and your insurer, which may complicate claims. Third-party insurers typically offer more comprehensive policies with better medical coverage and protection for non-cruise related parts of your trip, like flights or hotels. And the coverage is often cheaper with more flexibility. One thing that's been a game changer for us is having an annual travel insurance plan. If you travel more than once a year, it's often going to be cheaper to get an annual plan than it would be to get individual plans for each trip. In fact, it saved us from a lot of stress on multiple trips knowing that we're covered no matter where we go. So if you like the idea of protecting your travel, whether for a one-time trip or an annual plan like we have, I highly recommend check out what options exist out there. I've linked our favorite down in the description below if you're interested, but if you're not, that's totally fine. Do your own research and find what's going to work for you. In short, while it's tempting to bundle insurance with your cruise, doing a bit of research on third-party options can get you better protection for less. Private cabanas on cruise line islands or on board ships may sound like the ultimate luxury, but they can often come with a very hefty price tag, often several hundred to several $1,000s for a single day. While the idea of having your own space is appealing, many ships and islands already offer plenty of free loungers and shaded areas that give you a similar experience at no additional cost. Consider how much time will you actually spend in the cabana. If you're busy exploring or enjoying other activities, it may not be worth the cost for just a few hours. Unless you're celebrating something special, honestly, the price might just not justify the experience. For most cruisers, you can enjoy the same relaxation and views without that extra expense. Buying souvenirs on your cruise is tempting, but the ship's gift shops and the touristy areas in port may not offer the best value. Items like t-shirts, jewelry, and trinkets are often marked up and may not even be locally made. For example, the straw market that you see in Nassau and the port shops in Cozumel are packed with mass-produced goods that aren't truly authentic. These spots are convenient but pricey, and you're often paying for the location rather than the quality or uniqueness of the items. Better option? Venture off the beaten path. Explore local markets and places like Old San Juan, where you'll find more authentic, locally made products at fair prices. It may take a bit more effort, but you'll bring home something truly special and support local artisans directly. So before you buy that overpriced magnet or keychain, consider looking beyond the tourist traps. You may discover a unique, meaningful souvenir that's worth far more than the convenience of the onboard shops. Duty-free shopping on a cruise might seem like a great way to save money, but here's the catch. Any tax savings are often offset by the higher base price of the items themselves. Cruise lines rely on the fact that passengers are more likely to make impulse buys while on vacation, rather than researching prices like they would at home, online, or however they may do that. While it feels like you're getting a good deal, take a moment to consider, are you really getting a deal, or just maybe are you getting caught up in the vacation mindset? Capturing memories of your cruise is important. There's no two ways around that. And the onboard photo booths might seem like a great way to do exactly that. But before you sign up for that photo package, consider if it's really worth the price. These onboard photo shoots can be extremely expensive, often costing several hundreds of dollars for just a few prints or digital images. While the photographers are professionals, the sessions can feel rushed, especially on busy days when many passengers are also waiting for their turn. The resulting photos can sometimes lack the personal touch that you're really hoping for. Here's an alternative. Consider finding a fellow passenger who's a skilled photographer. Many cruisers join Facebook roll call groups for the specific sailing, where you may find someone looking to make some extra money by offering personalized photo shoots. This option can be both more affordable for you, as well as offering a more relaxed, customized experience, capturing the true essence of your cruise. So before booking that expensive photo package, consider connecting with somebody, and you may find that you're going to get photos that truly capture the magic of your trip without the high price tag. Currency exchange on board or in port can be very costly with unfavorable rates. In many tourist destinations, US dollars or credit cards are widely accepted, so exchanging money oftentimes is not necessary at all. If you do need local currency, avoid exchanging on the ship or at the airport. ATMs and ports can sometimes offer better rates, but your best bet is to exchange money at your local bank before you even leave for your vacation. If you do convert funds, ensure you don't convert more than you need, or you'll end up losing more money when you exchange things back to your local currency when you get back home. When using your credit card, always pay in the local currency to avoid the costly dynamic currency conversion. By planning ahead, you can avoid unnecessary fees and get the best value for your trip. Playing bingo on a cruise can be fun, but if you're hoping to win big, think again. The odds of winning are low, especially with large crowds, and the payouts often don't justify the cost of playing. If you're okay with bingo being an expensive way to pass the time, there's nothing wrong with that. Just understand that the odds are stacked against you, even more so than they already are with the typical casino games. In addition to the poor odds, unlike other onboard gambling, bingo doesn't earn you cruise comps like you may receive when you're playing slots or table games like blackjack or roulette. If you enjoy it for fun, go for it. But if winning money is your goal, there are smarter ways to spend your time and cash on board. Before we dive into this last crucial tip, if you found any value in this video, if it's been enjoyable, or you've learned a thing or two, would you please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to my channel? A lot of hard work goes into this, and doing this tells YouTube, hey, I appreciate this content and I'd like to see more like it. And honestly guys, it helped me and I would be so appreciative. And when you're done here, be sure to check out our money saving hacks video. It's packed with even more ways to make the most of your next cruise while saving some money in the process. Now let's get into that final tip, which may just save your entire vacation. While exploring ports during your cruise is one of the highlights of the trip, it's important to stay vigilant and be aware of potential scams that target tourists. Unfortunately, popular cruise destinations can also be hotspots for scammers looking to take advantage of the unsuspecting visitors like you. One common scam is the fake taxi or overpriced taxi trick. In some ports, you may encounter drivers that don't use meters scammers or who claim their meters are broken only to charge you an inflated fare at the end of the ride. To avoid this, always agree on a fare before getting into the taxi or use reputable rideshare apps if available. If you want to learn about even more ways to protect yourself from common scams while you're at the ports, I highly recommend clicking the video above where I cover in great detail the 10 most common port scams as well as ways to protect yourselves from them. Guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips help you steer clear of those cruise ripoffs and make your next cruise adventure truly special. Until next time, smooth seas, happy sails, and here's to making incredible memories there out on the open water. I'll see you on the next one. Bon voyage!